All right, hey friends, I'm obviously not in the tavern tonight. I'm doing the tavern from Florida. I'm in Orlando at a Liberty Pastors event. For those of you familiar with Liberty Pastors, it is a fantastic organization that we work with very closely. Pastor Paul Blair runs it and trains pastors all over the country. I think he said tonight a little over 2,000, like 2,200 that have gone through this. This is a really intense training. So this is not just a conference. I mean, they literally go 4 days of really in-depth teaching. I'll be teaching tonight and tomorrow and Wednesday, and covering everything from faith of the founders and the Constitution, the biblical foundations of the Constitution, to self-defense and the biblical right of armed self-defense. That's just a small portion of what they're going to get. They got Matt Staver and all kinds of great people here that are going to be teaching. And of course, Paul Blair doing a lot of that as well. So anyway, that's why I'm not in the tavern tonight. And jokingly, I'm just going to take all these pastors to the tavern. I thought I would start with some kind of joke. What happened? What do you get when you have 200 pastors in a tavern? Okay, but we don't have the tavern. So actually, I'm just going to give you a little taste here, real quick, if I can keep from getting you dizzy. So I'm going to shut up, but I'm going to show you. Paul Blair's actually up at the stage right now, teaching on what part of your life is the Lord not Lord of. So, so I want you to see that because I want you to be encouraged at what's happening right now. So people are saying, okay, I need to be ready to answer. I need to be able to respond to all of these issues. Instead of just saying, oh, Sunday morning is just going to be about, salvation message 52 times a week. These pastors are saying, how do I address the issues of the day? How do I actually equip my flock to be ready to answer and then to speak with all boldness? I mean, that's the goal. And of course, that's what we do at Patriot Academy. It's when we team up with Liberty Pastors. Turning Point Faith is here doing the same thing. We got Salt and Light Council, Citizens Defending Freedom, Remnant Alliance, I Voter Guide. Kevin Freeman's here. Kevin and Marty are here from Economic War Room. Those of you that watch much of Patriot University, if you go to patriotu.com, all this and including Kevin and I'm a war room. But anyway, I just wanted to have a few minutes with you before just encourage you and say, man, I go. I talked a lot about Paul thing. Back over here. You guys, let me know if now it's working. Okay. All right. Anyway, I think the signal's back. So all of that to say, this is the type of training that we need more of, right? So we need to be doing this not only with pastors. Well, we're doing this week with pastors. This is exactly the kind of training that we need to be doing with business leaders, with students, which we of course do at Patriot Academy, but with people in every area of the culture, so that they get these truths and then they're ready and able to go out and answer. You're going to hear me say this probably every week in the tavern, but at this point, whether you are, you know, working at a department store and one of the other employees, as you're on break or as you're standing around waiting for somebody to come in and give you some business, says, well, how do you know that there's a God? Like, how do you know that it was everything just happened by accident, or there was a God that created everything? You need to be ready to answer. You need to know how to respond to those questions, so that for that person that's curious about God for the first time in their life, they've asked you, now their coworker or their teacher or whoever in their life, you got to be ready to answer. And that's what we have not done a good job of in the church. So I just love the fact that we're getting these pastors on that page to say, how do we disciple our people better? How do we make them ready to answer? I was just on, my friend Frank Turek has this website called crossexamine.org. I've given it out a lot over the years at through Patriot Academy, because when he came to Patriot Academy a couple times and spoke, it was so good. I mean, he was so good at just zeroing in on how to respond to someone's questions and how to use questions. And it's a big part of what we're teaching, is teaching these young people, especially, how do you ask the right questions to figure out why somebody believes what they believe, so that you can then get down to what's really important, and also, pace and lead them by using questions to get that person to come towards truth. So anyway, we've got to do, I think everybody's fired up about that. And what I mainly wanted to say tonight before I have to let you go and go back in there is, the momentum that we felt last week after the memorial service is not letting up. It's full steam ahead More people are willing to listen now than at any time in my lifetime, maybe any time in American history. They're hungry for truth. We have the answers. Let's not be timid in speaking truth. Let's not be timid in answering these questions. But to do this well, we have to go to Second Timothy, study to show thyself approved. So we have to be willing to put in the hard work to be ready to answer. We have to be willing to put in the training to be able to communicate effectively. So all of that is what we're doing. That's why we're, blessed to be in the position we're in right now after 25 years of doing this. It's a perfect situation for us to help work that harvest, help receive those people in and disciple them in truth so that they can be effective. So be excited about that. Start looking for ways you can be a part of that. There's probably some groups in your local community. If there's not a group in your church that's already doing that, start that group yourself. Just take advantage of this opportunity where people are listening, they're hungry. Start finding organizations you can bring into your church, or at the very least, start a biblical citizenship class in your church. Do that soon. Like go to your pastor right now, this week, and say, "Hey, would you trust me enough to host a class on what the Bible says about how to treat your neighbor?" And get them a copy of biblical citizenship. Let them take a look at it, but just say, "Hey, would you trust me enough to host this class?" And if they say no, then say, "Well, what can I do to earn your trust to be able to host this class?" And then that class will help bring people together. They can do the study to show thyself approved part. They can actually study what the Bible says about citizenship and all these things, and then be able to be good citizens, good biblical citizens. That's the goal. So that's an easy jumping off place, easy way to start. And of course, go to patriotacademy.com and get the class for free, and let us know how we can support and help you. I'm really looking forward to hearing the testimonials. All of you, please send those in to us. Post, if you're a coach out there watching this tonight, make sure you're on the coach Facebook page and you're posting pictures of your classes and talking about the harvest that's happening in your community, in your family, in your church, even just anecdotal stories of maybe a niece or a nephew, or someone at work that has now become curious and now is asking the right questions and now wants to be a part of the solution. Share that with us, because it's powerful for us to hear those stories as well. Let's see. Anything else? I was trying to think of anything else I need to update you on here in the tavern. It was, obviously a lot going on. My daughter got married this weekend. We had a beautiful, beautiful wedding ceremony at the campus. Built a gazebo, and now we'll be able to do Bible studies there and worship services, and the sun going down right by. It was just gorgeous. And of course, my daughter was gorgeous, and it was a wonderful, wonderful wedding. And we're excited to welcome Elisha into the family. And so yeah, so I got three down, one to go, and my son's getting married in 2 months. So all for my kiddos. For those of you that have been watching Chasing American Legends for the last 10 years, and they were little, they're not little anymore. And so, anyway, wonderful, wonderful week. What else? Let's see. We had well, this week I'll be here at Liberty Pastors for several days in Florida, and then we're headed to Flashpoint in Indiana. So if you're anywhere in the Midwest, come over to Indiana, go to fparmy.com, and join us for 2 nights. I'm going to be there both nights. I'm not usually at Flashpoint for both nights. I can't usually stay that long, but I'm going to do that this time. So I'll be there Thursday night. We'll have a live event. Lucas Miles that runs Turning Point Faith will be with us, because his church is actually not but a couple hours from where this event is. And then Friday morning, I'm going to do a workshop on rebuilding liberty and how to seize this moment, how to seize the day with this harvest that God's given us. And then Friday night, we'll have another live event. So if you're anywhere in the Midwest, be sure and come over and join us for Flashpoint, fparmy.com. And then Liberty Pastors, libertypastors.org. You can look at some of the dates we've got coming up in the fall and spring, and send your pastors to one of these events. I mean, what I just showed you is just a little glimpse of a really, really powerful event for your pastor and their spouse. And it's always done it. We're some really nice Marriott resort in Orlando. They always do it at these nice places, and donors cover that for the pastors, so that it's only $99 for a pastor to come to one of these. Okay, well, if nobody's got any tough questions for me tonight, which is probably good since I need to get back in there. Oh, you just had Brad Stein at your Christian school. Oh, that's great. Good man. Yeah, we got to do more with Brad too. He's itching, man. He gets it. He senses this harvest is out there and wants to do more. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of cool stuff coming up. All right, everybody. God bless you. Sorry I wasn't able to do a full tavern show for you tonight, but we'll make it up. Christy, thank you. Yes, Moms for Liberty. Help me, Christy. What's the date on that? October, what is it, 18th, I think. The summit for Moms for Liberty is the whole weekend. I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Cameron and my daughter and I are flying in right after my nephew's wedding on Saturday. So we'll only be there Sunday morning, but Cameron's going to sing and I'm going to speak on Sunday morning at Moms for Liberty's summit. Okie dokie. We'll see you guys. God bless. Have a great week.